Hello YouTube. I don't know how many times I've tried to make this video. It is so hard to explain because it's such a weighty subject, but I think that it needs to be addressed because it's been the cause for a lot of confusion, a lot of disagreement within the body, between those within the body and those outside of the body. It's caused so much stress and unnecessary debates and havoc just among people in general that, this has to be brought to an end. I'm at the point where I'm sick of seeing it within my own life, and I'm tired of fighting for something that I was never meant to fight for, which is a title. Since when is my battle summed up in me fighting to be called a Christian and to take back a name that was never mine to begin with? That's like when people look at African Americans sideways when they're taking back the term nigger. You never invented the term nigger, so why are you taking it back? Especially with all the stigmas that are placed on it and all of the hurt and calamity that it's caused and all the mean and evil things that it's meant in the past. Why would you want to reclaim something that started with confusion, that was not created by you, for you? It makes absolutely no sense to do that. Yet and still, what's up, my nigga? How you doing, my nigga? What sense does that make? Makes absolutely no sense. The same thing goes for the term Christian. It was placed on us. By us, I mean, I don't even know what I mean. That's the problem. It was placed on a group of people at the time who were spreading the gospel and, repping Jesus Christ hardcore. It was placed on that group of people by outsiders, those who were looking at these people as complete strangers, and they wanted to give them a title, so they called them Christians. Does that mean anything positive because they called me a Christian? You know what I'm saying? There are people who have called me Christians, and it's the same as calling me outside of my name something profane. There are people who look at me and say, "Oh, you Christians." And what they mean by, "Oh, you Christian," is something that's negative, something that's demeaning, something that has nothing to do with my identity as a human being. Or they can mean it in a positive way, but it still has nothing to do with who I am as a human being. To be a Christian doesn't require any internal makeup. It doesn't require specific, I'll say, spiritual genetics. To be a Christian, you basically have to meet certain external factors. You have to meet certain societal requirements. And depending on where you go and who you talk to, those requirements change. For some people, being a Christian is simply going to church on Sunday. For some people, being a Christian is wearing a cross around your neck. For some people, being a Christian is being baptized at an infant age, or at an age, period, to be baptized. For some people, being a Christian is having an envelope number at an institution that is deemed a church, which we won't even deal with that. For some people, being a Christian means dedicating your life to Christ, means staying in your word on a regular basis, means praying until you can't pray anymore. It means speaking highly of God. It means being charitable towards others. It means possessing the fruits of the Spirit. It means striving towards righteousness until the day that you die. It means serving God, not just with your speech, not just with your actions, but with every ounce of your being. So how on earth can I be the same thing as somebody else, but my requirements are totally different? They don't match whatsoever. And to help to understand where I'm coming from, let's look at what it means to be black. For some people, being black means, having my skin color or any skin color that appears to have originated from the color brown. For some people, being black means having a slave heritage within the United States. For some people, being black just means, oh, y'all look like, so, or your hair is kinky or curly, or, you see what I'm saying? For some people, being black means, a certain income. It means a certain social standing. Our first black president, I don't identify with Barack Obama. Our lives are totally different. We've had totally different upbringings, totally different parents, totally different DNA, but somehow I should feel proud that this man is in office because we hold a similar title in society that has been placed off of superficial means that don't even matter. Some people wouldn't even consider him black because there are, people in this country today who are of African heritage, who can trace their origins back to the continent of Africa, who would say, I'm not black. Because in this country, being black means having, a slave heritage, or having someone in your family background who was once enslaved by, someone who was many shades lighter than him in the country's history. Barack Obama does not have that. His father comes straight from Kenya. So when you look at it that way, he's not even black. So how is he our first black president? You see what I'm saying? It's totally twisted to sit here and have your existence defined by a term that has no definition. So what are you? You define yourself. Words don't define you. And so that is why I don't want to be called a Christian, because I don't want to have characteristics placed on me that simply are not there. And I also don't want to get to a point where I'm putting someone else down or diminishing them in my mind because they don't look like me, because they don't have the same qualifications I have, because they don't have the same experiences that I've had, because they don't, have the same life that I have. Am I going to sit here and deny someone's relationship or connection with God because they don't have the same, look or appearance that I have? It could be someone who's very new in the faith. Someone, who's a baby in the body of Christ. And I'm now putting them down and making them feel less than because they don't look like me, because they don't act like me. But they don't have to act like me. If they die today, that seed of faith is enough for them to have the same faith that I have, regardless of anything else. That's why, we are saved not by works, but by faith and by the grace of God. None of those things have qualifications. None of those things have, a physical description. So when I say I'm not a Christian, I'm rejecting the old habit of looking at external things that really, at the end of the day, hold no merit. I'm rejecting that old thought pattern and just trying to be the best human being that I can possibly be. And just trying to walk in the path that God has laid out for me in my life. and embracing the path that God has laid out for every other individual's life. And that's that. So with that being said, you don't have to agree with me, but I'm not a Christian. And I would appreciate if you respected my wishes to no longer be called a Christian. If you look at me and say she's a Christian, please refrain, or try your best to refrain from looking at me as that, if you're going to place a term on it. So, that's the end of this video, and I will talk to you all later. Take care, and God bless.